Today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, baby. We're talking about the top-rated sports booking app in all of North America, baby. Safe, secure, and my favorite, reliable. And we know NFL season is back in full effect, and we got action every single week with all of our favorite teams, favorite players, and what better way to add to the watching experience than by, putting a little bit of yourself into the game. And the best way to do that is with your promo codes, baby, which you already know we got to talk about. And the promo code is Moats for the new people out there. When you download that app, the beautiful DraftKings Sportsbook app, and you make your first initial bet of $5, use the promo code Moats. You will get $200 back instantly. It is an awesome situation for you and gives you a nice head start into all of the potential fun and potential, what we like to call success. So with that being the case, you see what time we are on. You know what this is, but I also understand at times you might get lost in the sauce. You might develop a gambling problem. If you live in New York, it's a number that you could text. But for everybody else, the digits to dial are 1-800-GAMBLER. I do want to do a quick update, man. Get a little AFC North update, all right? And I figured, man, we'll start doing this just to peek around the corner, man. Make sure we, track what the opposition has going on. So that way, once, it gets down to that final time of the season, who's going to win the division, it ain't just popping up on us. It ain't something new to us. Would have actually been followed them, been aware of what they've been trying to do and what the storylines have been. So in the division, we know there are two teams that are undefeated right now. Shout out to us who took care of business, obviously 34-32 versus the Jets. But then we also had the Bengals. They got to win week 1 versus the Cleveland Browns, winning 17-16. Ravens lost prime time, right, versus the Bills. So with the Ravens matchup, man, I think a lot of us watched that one, right? First Sunday night game of the season. It was kind of crazy. It's kind of electric. Had some back and forth, a lot of lead changes, a lot of running the ball in that game too. A lot of passing yards in that game, a lot of touchdowns scored in that game, man. Situational defense, good enough, right? But the Ravens, they look like they're like the Ravens. Yep. They look like they're the best version of scrubs that we've seen. Okay. They look really good. Okay. Really good in a we hate you, y'all suck type of way. Okay. With all due respect. All right. I'm going to just say it like that. All right. They made some things happen in that game that had me saying, who was we just playing against? You said we was playing against Brees Hall? Oh. Ooh, all right. You better show this up. How many weeks we got till we see them, boys? Yeah, you better get this fixed ASAP, okay? ASAP. So, yeah, Ravens definitely look like a team that, at least after week 1, even with them taking a loss, looks like a team that we're going to have to be accounting for, be ready for. You already know that. Man, you throw the records up whenever you see them. But they look good, though, man. Offense and defense, right? Got a playmaker at quarterback and their running back. Zay Flowers looked good in the game also. Still some questions about their defense, though, right? In terms of the ability to keep a lid on it, not allow the explosive plays. They give up a lot of points, though, man. A lot of points. But they got a kicker, though, man. We're going to see how good this kicker is, though, because he actually missed. All right. The last kicker they had seemed like he never missed. Shout out to Justin Tucker. All right. He never missed, like ever. Okay. And then when he did miss, it got weird. Man, now we don't see him anymore. It's crazy. But they got a little kicker over there, man. He seems pretty solid, man. So that'd be interesting. Definitely not on Boz level. He's gonna feel the Boz effect when Boz pulls up in that stadium. You know how that goes, man. But yeah, Baltimore, they look varsity. They like they're gonna be ready to go. So you know what that is, man. Bengals and Browns. Interesting, though. Very interesting. So in terms of Bengals Browns, we know Bengals won 17-16, but the crazy part was this. The way the game played out in terms of the flow of it, right? We know all offseason the talk was Bengals offense, right? Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, that's where the money is. Joe Burrow, right? Played them dudes in the preseason because the hope was that, yeah, man, offense should start fast, should be able to score points, and they won't get in a whole week, 1 of the first month of the season. Not the case, though, man. All right. Browns defense put the clamps on the Bengals offense, right? Had their offense struggling, sputtering, not a lot of production over there. And when you talk about the stars, right? Joe Burrow was 120 yards passing and 1 touchdown. You talk about Jamar Chase, 2 catches, 26 yards. T. Higgins, 3 catches, 33 yards. Very different, right? Very different. Now, the flip side was this, though, right? You're asking yourself, well, hey, man, if the Browns defense was that good, Browns were able to, keep the 2 star receivers in check, keep Joe Burrow in check, how did they lose? Well, Browns are kind of decent, man. All right. Browns came through, had 327 yards total offense. They moved the ball. Problem was they had 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions, right? And it wasn't even the Joe Flacco type bad pick. It was literally ball off hands picks, right? 2 of those. And they had two missed field goal, or a missed field goal and a missed extra point. And it wasn't even like long joints. I'm talking the extra point. It was like a 30-yarder. On top of that, it was like, yo, you missed the extra point and you missed the field goal. It's like, bro, that's 4 different scoring opportunities, right? When you talk about 2 picks, and then specifically you talk about field goals being missed, right? Can't miss kicks, extra point or field goal. You cannot do that. We obviously know all those points matter. Heck, if Boz misses 1, what does this game look like? Very different for us, right? In terms of the outcome. So that was interesting, man, to see that the Browns were able to have success moving up and down the field on that Bengals defense that we know has been talked about, right? Bengals defense this offseason, it was like, man, all right, you're having the contract dispute with your first rounder. Trey Hendrickson has a little bit of an issue in terms of his contract. Everything gets settled, but it's like, okay, you guys still seem to have some of those issues that have, plagued you guys in the past. But at least from the Bengals standpoint, they feel like they got some opportunistic players over there in terms of those 2 interceptions. So we will see how that looks going forward. Offensively, I know that I'm not surprised that the Bengals struggled necessarily with the Browns defense, because the Browns defense is nice. They got pass rush. They got guys that can cover. That's what keeps them in a lot of their games, man. But the Bengals, man, let's see. Because I don't anticipate that offense struggling like that every time out, okay? But it was still good to see. Now, we know up next, though, Cincinnati's going to play against Jacksonville, right? Jacksonville's coming up to Cincinnati, so low-key, I don't know what to expect. I do feel like the Bengals will probably have some more offensive success there, just because Jacksonville's defense, to me, isn't on Browns level per se. But the other thing is week 2, you got Browns at Ravens. That's always one of the ones that's coin flip, man. Browns, they sneakily be getting that dub in there on occasion, man, and they'll do it on the road. So I'm interested to see, like I said, man, how those teams match up. We know with Baltimore, they can go. They can score a ton of points, man. They can really light it up out there. But there's also a revenge game for old Joe Flacco. So that's the part where I want to see how Flacco revenge game looks. If that Browns defense that had all the success against Cincinnati can also be able to find ways to stymie that Ravens offense the same way. And the Browns 327 yards total offense. Is that something that they're going to be able to continue on? Because we know Joe Flacco, he's going to hit you with the crosser. He's going to throw to the open guy, man. Them dudes, if you can run out the catch, you got a chance with Joe. All right. But you got to clean up the turnovers. Obviously, the 2 picks wasn't on him. Like I said, man, legit off of receiver's hands. And then you got to hit these field goals, right? But at least from the division standpoint, I felt good, man. I'm like, man, we gave up 32 points. Baltimore gave up 41. Okay. Now, granted, Baltimore was going against the Bills, but still, if we're gonna hold Will McDonald and Quinnen Williams and their success on Broderick the same as we holding Joe Tippmann, let me put these names again so I don't butcher them, right? Jeez, but we holding up, those names are those names. I think, maybe we should hold up, Bills scoring up to 41 points as well, or is just scoring 31 points on us. All right, all this should be the same, all the same. But either way. But yeah. Shout out to the AFC North, though, man. And like I said, man, we're just going to continue to monitor them, man, and see what the division looks like on a week-to-week basis, man, how the other guys around the league are doing. And ultimately, man, how long is it going to take for us to go ahead and lock this division up? Because, yeah, I don't want it to take forever. I don't want us to have to go all the way into the last game of the season like typical, okay? If we can go ahead and knock this thing out a little bit earlier, I'm all for it, all right? All for it.